One thing that is going to hate to become a bafflement, all a confusion, all a dilemma is Thomas Partey's future at the club of Arsenal, because we all know to it that he's one of those players that is expected to leave the club of Arsenal, but different sources are telling us different things, you understand? And I'm going to be really bringing you stories that are going to hate to contradict and why they've going to hate to put them there. And Harry Kane is going to hate obviously come out and spoken about what he thinks about England and the draw they've gonna hit to be hailing today. And James Rodriguez back in the mix to have something to say about him in here onto the Rokani Media Football. 17th of June 2024. This is the 5th video of the day, and hope you guys are really enjoying them to the fullest. And this is how I do it. And we want to obviously continue bringing you more and more videos. You know, I think I really want to see to it that at a certain point X we even have like 10 videos. You know, there is a day I feel like I should come in here charged and see 10 videos on a day and see how things really pan out onto this beautiful channel of ours. So smash the like button close to 300 times plus, and don't forget to subscribe so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And how do you really not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily? You have to hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this beautiful channel of ours. Now sorry about that. Let's obviously start it up with Thomas Partey, the Ghanaian international, and how the Footy Insider came out and really told us this story that Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey is closing in on a summer move to Saudi Arabia. The Ghana international representatives are in talks over what would be a huge contract to take him to the Middle East, to the Middle Eastern country. Now, when I look at what is being said about this guy, and that he's none other than Thomas Partey, it comes out into my knowledge that there are two parts, and we've been told that it will depend for us not to sign in any midfielder. It will depend on the stance of Thomas Partey, you know. And this is Footy Insider. After Footy Insider, then Jacobs Ben, tier 1 journalist, comes in and say there is no guarantee Thomas Partey leaves Arsenal. He could simply see out the final year of his contract. Partey has had historical Saudi interest. Newly promoted Al Qadisiyah are understood to be interested in Partey. Are understood to be interested in are understood to be interested if Partey changes his mind on a switch to the Saudi Pro League. Now, I don't think that Arsenal are willing to obviously hold on to a player who is really injury prone, you know, and I know that they are really planning to obviously let Thomas Partey go. In my understanding, I have a belief that Thomas Partey, hear me out, Thomas Partey is really gonna be one of those players that Arsenal is willing to sell, because they cannot offer him a new contract, you know, because he earns a lot of money. He earns close to £200,000 a week, and that was when Arsenal was not in the Champions League. And it shows you that if at all Arsenal is in the Champions League, Thomas Partey might be earning £250,000 a week. So I don't see anyway how Arsenal come into the mix to obviously keep him around, yet there is a team coming in from Saudi Arabia to obviously purchase him. And I know even Thomas Partey, inside him, he knows to it that he doesn't deserve to be playing for Arsenal. However much, when he's there, he looks like one of the best teams in the world, but his inconsistency has gone ahead to affect this team, this Arsenal side hugely, and they would rather get in a player like Youssouf Fofana, who can really be fit and can be paid half of his salary, right? That is it. He can be paid half of his salary, because if you continue to see to it that all goes in as planned, I believe Arsenal will sell him. Arsenal will sell him. They will, because they're not willing to lose another player on a free. Arsenal has on several occasions, almost every season, Arsenal loses out players on a free. This season, they've gone ahead to lose out onto Cedric Soares on a free. And if at all they had gone ahead to obviously tie him on a contract, they would have gone ahead to get like 5 million euros, if at all I'm not mistaken. The other season, Hutchinson went to Chelsea on a free. Then I think Hector Bellerin, they had to terminate the contract. You understand? There is even another player they lost on a free. You get? So I think that should come to an end at Arsenal, and I think they don't have any plan of keeping Thomas Partey. That is it, according to me. And if Arsenal keeps Thomas Partey, I'll question their intent to obviously win big trophies, because they need another midfielder in to replace the Thomas Partey guy who is not always fit. That is it. Thomas Partey is not always fit. And how do you keep him when you want to compete into the Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup? You need a more reliable player to obviously show up, so to it that all goes on as to plan. You understand? So that is Thomas Partey and Arsenal. So when you look at the two stories coming from the Foot Insider and Jacob's Ben, they've hinted about Saudi Arabia, and it looks like Saudi Arabia has teams that can obviously offer him a very lucrative contract. And remember, he even converted from Christianity to Islam. You understand? I think he's called Hassan. That is his Islam name. And I think the woman that he has that saw him really turn into a Muslim is really doing a very good job to obviously tell him, please, let's go to Saudi Arabia. And I tell you, they might even give her money to obviously seduce the husband to go that side. And they've just gone ahead to welcome their firstborn. So Partey will be like, all right, let's obviously go and I settle there and see to it that I really learn more of that Islamic religion down there. So he might be having a very huge reason to go there. And as a fan who supports Man United, I'll let you know that for Casemiro, they want to offer United from between 70 to 80 million euros, meaning that for Thomas Partey, they can offer close to 40 or 50 million euros to the side of Arsenal. And if I'm Arsenal, I take those 40, 50 million euros. That is it. But one thing that might be holding this transfer would be the same reason as to why we all knew to it that Xhaka had already gone ahead and agreed a deal to join Leverkusen, right? But it was not until Arsenal signed Declan Rice that Granit Xhaka found himself out of Arsenal. You remember that very well? So I think even for Thomas Partey to leave the club of Arsenal, Arsenal will have to first sign what we call a new central midfielder. And then as soon as the new central midfielder comes in through, then Partey will leave. And one thing, if I told you one Arsenal fan that he wouldn't obviously like, would be seeing Thomas Partey board that plane to the US. Yet he's not part of the plan. You get? That's what will shock you. But I think the level at which Arsenal is going to hit to reach, they cannot make such mistakes. If they want you out, they'll obviously let you go and they'll find a replacement immediately. If he's out of the plans, then they won't fly with him to America. But if he's part of the plan, I tell you, he'll fly with them to America and see how Arsenal is really going to deal with that. But I wouldn't like to see Thomas Partey live on a free, because Arsenal needs money. Even if it's 30 million euros, it will be some huge good money that Arsenal will obviously be needing to see to it that all goes on to well as planned. So we wait and see how things pan out in here for Thomas Partey and the side of Arsenal. You understand? But it's really confusing, but there is interest from Saudi clubs. They're really showing huge intent to sign Thomas Partey, and we don't know what is really happening internally at the club of Arsenal and what the discussions are really leading them to, because Thomas Partey, to stay at Arsenal, he might demand a new contract. And how do you offer a contract to a player who is really injury prone? You get? And that won't really show me that Arsenal is really ready to compete with the likes of Man City, because for Man City, Ilkay Gundogan, they gave him contracts because he was a player who could get more games in than Thomas Partey. You get? And they wanted to keep him, but he said, no, I've gone here to win a treble for you. Let me go to Barcelona. That he is Gundogan for you. So we wait and see how that pans out for Thomas Partey, but we're here to wait and see how everything is going to be really perceived into the mix. After leaving Partey, let's obviously go to Harry Kane, the captain of England, and how they're going to hit to play against the side of the side is called Serbia, and they're going to hit to win. They're going to hit to win by 1-0, and he really had one of the biggest chances of the game, but it was saved by the goalkeeper. The captain was speaking to BBC, and this is what he had to say. We knew it would be a tough game. Serbia posed a threat, very physical. I thought we dealt with it well. Overall, we deserved to win. The group is just about getting through. They changed in the second half to go man for man, and we couldn't get the ball well enough. A clean sheet in any game is important, and it's good we got one today. Jude Bellingham is an unbelievable player. He deserves all the praise, the confidence he plays with, and the way he affects games. It's important for players that play in his position to get goals and assists. He finished it off nicely. And then he concluded and said, each game will be a different game. Today I played higher. That allowed them to stay deep so Jude and Phil could play in the pocket. Sometimes I'll drop in, sometimes I'll play higher up. It was more about holding the ball up and winning fouls in the second half. So obviously this team in the second half came up and really pressed the side of England, you get, and they pressed England in its own half. That is it. So England couldn't obviously stand a pressing team, and they had to find all means to see to it that they obviously find pockets of space. But Serbia took over the first half, and the second half was all over the side of England. And that's what I told you, that it was a game of two halves. First half England won, second half Serbia was all over England, and they really had more shots on target in the entire game that was played. So that is what we're going to hit to hear from Harry Kane. And when are they playing next? Let's check in here and see when England is really playing next into the Euros. England is playing on Thursday. They are going to be playing against Denmark, right? So those are the fixtures for England, and today we are obviously kickstarting off with Romania and Ukraine. Zinchenko into the mix and Mikhailo Modric. Then we'll see Belgium, Slovakia. That is Onana, Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, Leandro Trossard, Yuri Tielemans coming into the mix to play against Slovakia. Then we'll close up the day with Austria versus France. Austria have the likes of Alaba. I don't know whether he's really back fit. They also have Sabitzer, and very many other exciting players in there for you. For France, you all know who they have. They have the creme de la creme of this. They have the creme de la creme of this nation in here for you. So those are the three games that are going to be played today, and we hope to see that a lot really comes in your way. So England is going to be playing Denmark next, and all what they win is a win to obviously get through into the mix. Now, after that, let's talk about James Rodriguez. Grown, but he still believes that he still has that energy to go and really give out the best of performances. And he said, I'm not planning to sign for Boca Juniors or move to Argentina now. Full focus on Copa America, and then I'll decide my future. So that is James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez is that kind of player that is going to hit to impress. And when he was playing for Monaco, the World Cup of 2010 that was in South Africa, he came in through and scored 5 goals to Real Madrid, from Real Madrid to Everton, from Everton I think he went back to, is it France? And he has been not having the best of seasons, but all I know is that he really got that money in, but he's a very good and talented player. So guys, your thoughts on Thomas Partey's future at Arsenal, hanging in balance, are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Harry Kane reaction to their 1-0 win over Serbia, and James Rodriguez not ready to obviously make a decision on where to play next in the coming season of 2025-2026. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokani David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later, the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum, and let's continue to really spread love and continue to subscribe, because I want to see it that we hit 22,000 subscribers. We are left with let me check here. How many subscribers are we left with? Obviously hit that mark, because I need to obviously come in through and obviously give you that such that really get to know it hugely. We are left with 400 subscribers to hit 22,000 subscribers. So guys, today we're gonna hit to hit 21,600 subscribers. So the remaining 400, please join the queue, subscribe to this channel, and the rest will be history. Good night. I finally call it a day onto the Rokani Media Football. We start off in the morning and see how things are really gonna be panning out onto this channel. Bye bye.